The narrative that they try to push here is that we are creating a shadow economy. I'm saying that that others, those that are in power, they created the shadow government and a shadow economy, and we are creating a legal, constitutional government, constitutional economy that is run by the values that our forefathers set and fought for.
I'm really excited to talk to someone from Finland. He actually just interviewed me and I thought, well, I want to know what's going on over there as well. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the audience where they can find your content as well before we get into it?
Yeah, my name is Ike. I have a Finnish name, Ilkka Tiainen, but people abroad know me as Ike Novikoff. I'm the founder of an online TV channel called Good TV. You can find it on goodtv.com, and the links to the Finnish content are also there. I'm also the founder of a new party, Power Belongs to the People in Finland. I'm the first chairman of the party.
Wow, that's really amazing. And the reason we connected was because obviously you saw the SOS from Australia video, and you know, how has that impacted you, and what have you done with that?
Well, I mean, first of all, the situation is here also not much better than there, but I mean, I think we are about 3-4 months behind of Australia. We are now talking about the third booster shot openly. Over 100,000 people have got it. There are going to be so-called forced vaccinations, which are forced by the companies. You get fired if you don't take the jab, and people are divided into two. What we are doing actually here is that we have founded a party called Power Belongs to the People. And we are following the original constitution of Finland that was established in 1917. And basically all these matters, these lockdowns, these are all unconstitutional. And the directions for our government come clearly from outside of the country. They are centrally directed, and basically you can count, we have 200 parliament members, 199 parliament members are breaking the constitution and the law. And our constitution says very clearly that none of the laws that are unconstitutional are not valid. So, and they're going to be charged for treason. When, I don't know, we are working on that, but we have to, because we have a cold winter coming, and we're in autumn. So we are basically a divided nation where we are now founding up another society inside Finland. So we are taking care that we will have food. We are building our own phone networks. We are building our own internet. We are doing our own infrastructure. We are doing our own schools, our own hospitals, everything, because we just need to make sure that we will survive. So when I saw the SOS video from you from Australia, we took an initiative in the party. We have one parliament member, pretty much the same history than in your case. He was fired by kind of the People's Party, and then we founded up jointly during the summer a new party that is gaining really much momentum. So we have all the methods that the normal party has in a parliament. We are participating in the debates, and we can have written questions sent to the ministers. And our written question was basically that what does the Finnish foreign ministry do regarding the situation in Australia, regarding the violations of human rights? How is the Finnish government going to help the Finns that are in Australia that are not getting help from the consulate? And how is Finland going to prevent the same situation happening in Finland that is happening in Australia? Or does our government want that the same situation happens in Australia? So that was the question that was filed 2 days after I saw your video.
Wow. Well, I mean, considering that you are only 3 to 4 months behind us, and it was hard 3 or 4 months ago here too, for you to put effort in for us, we really appreciate it. And I hope there's some Finnish people watching in Australia that can see this video. And I wanted to ask as well, you're, quite young, like I am, and, you're now, into politics, probably like you've never been. Well, yeah. How has this changed your life? Were you always interested in things like politics?
Well, actually, I have I have a history in politics. I started when I was 14 and I quit when I was 18. So I went to the really high up in the youth politics. I was in a European Youth Parliament at the age of 17, which had the direct representation right to the European president that time. And I saw just the people that were in the youth politics, and I thought, if I'm going to stay in the politics, I will have nothing to say, because the youth politics is basically training you to become a brainless monkey that is just climbing the ladder of the political pyramid. And when you climb and you're on the top, being a minister or something else, you have not lived your life. You have zero perspective. You have zero spine. You have zero values. You have sold everything you have in yourself already when you are at that position. And I thought that at the age of 18 that I'm going to leave all this behind. And now last summer, the situation became so grim that I had to go back. So I had a little bit of experience. I understood how the game works. And a lot of my old friends from the youth politics are now ministers, and they have as much to say as when they were 15, 16. So nothing.
Great. And are you going to run yourself?
Yeah, I run. We had the municipal elections this summer. I got through. I'm in our municipal parliament, and we have regional elections coming in January, and then 18 months ahead are the parliament elections. So I heard that you have in 6 months parliament elections. So I really keep thumbs up that you get the party together, a lot of good candidates and a lot of votes. And I don't know how your voting counting is going. I hope you're not using the same system that we are using, which is from the Chinese Communist Party, funded by them. So I hope you have unfair elections.
I'm so sorry. That is like not good at all. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now you're creating what we call a shadow economy by the sounds of it. Are you
actually? I have to interrupt you because the narrative that they try to push here is that we are creating a shadow economy. I'm saying that that others, those that are in power, they created the shadow government and a shadow economy, and we are creating a legal, constitutional government, constitutional economy that is run by the values that our forefathers set and fought for.
I love it. I'm going to change that. I'm not going to use that term anymore. Thank you for that. So do you think that you're going to actually have to implement this whole system, or do you think there's a way forward for Finland to break through this narrative?
I mean, that's a very good question. I'm asking that question myself every night before I go to sleep. This is a psychological warfare. It's an economical warfare. It's a war on all frontiers. And I don't remember, was it Sun Tzu who said that if you want peace, you got to be prepared for war. And kind of that's the mental attitude we need to put ourselves into, because so far nothing has prevented them of doing all these unconstitutional, horrific things. And it looks that they are actually panicking the enemy or the enemies. There are multiple enemies. They are panicking, and every move they make, they get weaker. They are worse in moves, but it doesn't slow them down. Vice versa, they just give gas and go with full throttle. So it's a very good question. I think I don't know if it matters anything what I think, but what we need to have is that we need to be prepared to take the kids out of the schools when the children vaccination begins. We need to prepare that we know from which farms we get food, where we get electricity, where we get fuel, and these kind of basic needs for surviving. We also need to come together. Everyone needs to come together and kind of jointly. And I'm kind of assuming that now, because we have around maybe 76% have got the double jab, at least according to the official statistics. So I'm really thinking that once the third jab hits into mainstream and people lose kind of the access from this corona passports, because with 2 jabs it's as good as no jab. So it will awaken a lot of people, and we need to also be prepared to take those people in who have been misled by the government. And I believe there's gonna be tens of thousands of people joining us, and they need help. They need psychological help. They need to be told what's going on, what has been going on, and they need food and shelter and all this infrastructure around. So there's a lot of work. Yeah.
There's a lot of work, but you know, it looks so different than it did in World War I or II, because it's psychological. So it's
it's like nothing we've experienced. So that's why we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, every day is like you wake up and you don't know. You know, in Australia, I can't go to a cafe. I can't go to the gym, you know, so when this happens in Finland, I really hope that the European culture just like, it doesn't want any part of that. Do you think?
I mean, it's already happened. It's already happened.
Oh.
So I cannot go to the bars, even to the local bars. I will be thrown out and so on. So it's already happened. What is more worrying is that we have 1,400 kilometers of border, almost 1,000 miles of border with Russia, and we are neutral countries, so we don't take a stance, and we have been independent over 100 years and neutral, always neutral. So now the same politicians that have misled us with this health crisis and with this whole pandemic are now pushing us to NATO. And once, if and so, because we are also a part of European Union, and Europe once there's this, like, Europe has become this socialistic state. So it's like a Soviet Union of European states. Everything is socialism right now, and I think that's global. It's also Australia. It's everywhere the same. But the problem here is that Europe wants to really European Union wants to really tie ties with the NATO, and they want aggression. In my view, they want aggression with Russia as the probably fake president of the US. They need the war kind of to distract the people. And we are in the front lines because we have such a long border. We have the biggest artillery in Europe. We have one of the biggest armies in the Europe. We have, I have heard now intel from our army that, for example, our troops have been trained to attack because we have defense forces. But for the last 10 years, they have been trained to attack. And I'm really worried that if we go from neutral to being sided in geopolitics, and we side with NATO, then we're going to be fed to the cannons. So we have to be really, really, really tight and careful and defend that we remain totally neutral. And this is also a message that we strongly emphasize to our politicians, that you cannot go and make a neutral country into something that take a stance with this kind of border and with a neighbor like Russia.
It's hard for Australians to imagine, you know, having a border with anyone. So it's really great to hear your side of that. And obviously, if something big happens, please do reach out to tell us what's going on.
Yeah. That's the last thing I want to wish. I want to wish all of you good fighting spirit, and I mean, this is going to be the fight of our lifetimes. This is why we are here. I mean, this is why we chose to come to this planet at this time. And may God bless us all. And I believe we will be victorious, but how deep we will go, I don't know. How long it will last, I don't know. Will it be a week? Will it be a month? Will it be 2 years? But I don't believe more than 10 years. But
God help us, but yes, but we will keep fighting until that time comes. So thank you so much for your words of wisdom and encouragement, and we'll speak to you another time.
Thank you.